Hey there, wargamers. This is Justin from AMPServices, and I finally got my hands on the Wave 9 X-Wing ships, and today we're going to be discussing the TIE Special Forces fighter. I don't know if it's supposed to be Special Forces TIE fighter, TIE Special Forces, however they say it. I guess I have the box here so I can tell you. It says Special Forces TIE, even though the card says TIE/Special Forces fighter. So there you go. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. Help grow the channel, and that would be, I really appreciate it. It's awesome, helps me out. So with that being said, let's jump right in and discuss the ship. First and foremost, we are going to, actually, I guess I should say, precursor here. I have just now started looking at this ship. I haven't done any games with it, so this is going to be kind of an unboxing slash cursory review of what's in here and you know, tactics that come to mind. In the future, I'm going to try and do some tactical videos, ship builds, list builds, stuff like that. Just bear with me because there may be some things I miss here in this cursory review because I have not actually tried using the ship or tried any builds yet. So anyway, now let's move on and talk about the ship. First and foremost, let's talk about the cardboard pieces here. Nothing new if you're familiar with X-Wing. You get your pilot plates. It looks like there are 2 plates for pilots here. Pretty standard. If you are an X-Wing player, new or old, don't throw any of this stuff away. You will have extra stuff coming out of your ears. Just put it in a bag, save it. You never know when you'll need it or lose something. Also, don't throw these away. If you ever get the Fantasy Flight dial upgrades, you are going to want that. If you don't have it, you will regret it. With that being said, let's flip over and check out the dial. Oh Lord, this guy has a lot of red. Let's see. He does have some nice one maneuvers, so this guy can move pretty slow if he wants, which makes sense if he's trying to you know, maybe block or keep somebody behind him without moving too far, if you're worried about where they're going to go. Wow, though, all that red. Looks like 5 green, 6 red maneuvers on the dial. Not sure what to think about that, to be honest. And if you ever are stressed, you're pretty predictable. 2 straight green, 3 straight green, and then 1 green. So your opponent's probably gonna have a pretty good idea where you're gonna go. This guy might pair pretty well with the FO TIE that clears stress. I do not remember his name, but there is one that clears stress. So this may pair well with him as a wingman if you're worried about mobility. I believe we refer to these as sloops. Those are pretty good. Catch people off guard. The hard turn reds are brutal. And he does not have a K-flip, though. That's interesting. I guess because he can fire out of the rear, it's not a big deal anyway, but interesting looking dial. We'll see how this guy plays out. Let's go ahead and look at the ship itself and discuss the paint job. So this is the ship. Compared to a normal TIE, it looks like it's got this little red portion of it, a little bit of red on the back. It looks like the back engines are a little bit different than a TIE. I think a normal TIE has one little engine right here, not these 2. So kind of cool. The back looks a little bit better than the front in terms of being different. I'm gonna focus there. Focus. There we go. It's got. I don't know if I said this thing. It's got the little antenna. That's kind of cool. The cockpit here is a little bit more red, so it's more easily. Well, it's unfocused again. It's a little more pronounced, so you can see that. I dig it, but my problem is, I think with this ship compared to the other Wave 9 ships, and maybe it's just an Imperial thing, it just looks like a normal FO. It doesn't stand out as much to me, and considering it's got a rear gunner, maybe those 2 little red dots there are the rear gun. It's not very pronounced, and maybe that's supposed to be his, you know, cockpit or his view finder thing. I don't know. I guess it's a little bulkier than a normal TIE. I don't know. I'm not blown away by the paint job on this one. That's just me. I guess a TIE fighter is a TIE fighter. This one's slightly different, and maybe that's just the thing. It's grunt work, kind of like an X-Wing versus an X-Wing, but or Z95 versus Z95. But it just, this guy's not blowing my skirt up compared to the Protectorate Starfighter, the ARC 170, and I think it's called a Shadowcaster, the big one. This one's just, I think, the weaker of the 4 from the Wave in terms of paint quality. Now let's jump right in and talk about the other cards that come in. First and foremost, I always keep one of these from or each unique reference card you get. I always keep one. You never know when you're going to need it. You never know when you're going to forget what something does. This is also really good for people like me, or just friendly gamers, that are like game masters, and I run the local X-Wing tournaments and events, so when new players show up, I'm the one who teaches them to play, and if I have extra cards like this, I usually give them one of each unique one that I have, just for them to put with their stuff, because you never know. And especially if they're buying ships more slowly than other players, at least they have these for reference. If they come across something they're not familiar with, they can reference it and they can start to learn, learning while doing, so to speak. So never throw those away, keep them. If they're new players, just give them out. You know, repurpose your extra stuff that Fantasy Flight gives you. Now, moving right into the pilots, the pilot, or the highest pilot skill guy we have here is a pilot skill 9. His name's Quick Draw. It's nice that it has a forward or primary front firing arc and an auxiliary rear firing arc, but the attack values not stellar. Very similar to the Arc 170, except the Arc 170 has Tail Gunner to help it out. This guy cannot take a crew. It does have a system upgrade and a tech slot, which is really nice, so that's going to give it some cool, fun toys to use. Does not have an evade. Not having an evade is brutal. But we'll see what options come with this guy. I believe fire control system might not be bad on him. We'll see how he pans out. Let's talk about his pilot ability. His pilot ability reads, once per round, when you lose a shield token, you may perform a primary weapon attack. This is pretty good. With his evade value as a 2, he's definitely going to get shot. He's X-Wing status from that front. I guess for, you know, they're banking on the point costs here, being justified by his ability. Fantasy Flight has already ruled in one of their ship reviews or previews or whatever, that if this guy flies over an asteroid or debris and loses a shield token, it can trigger his ability. I think that's complete and utter rubbish myself, specifically because tactically I can't imagine any commander saying, hey you, Quick Draw, fly through the debris field on purpose and hurt yourself so you can shoot someone. That sounds kind of stupid to me and not in the spirit of what this is about, but Fantasy Flight has already said, in essence, if you want to commit suicide, you can fly into an asteroid or debris field and get a free shot if you lose a shield. I think it's dumb, but it is what it is. Not bad. Maybe there's some upgrade cards that will bolster him, and we will see in just a moment. Moving on to the next pilot here, we have Backdraft, pilot skill 7. His ability, same upgrades, which is good. His ability states, when attacking a ship inside your auxiliary firing arc, you may add a critical result. Quick Draw is cool, but this guy is pretty badass. That's sweet. Being able to shoot out your rear arc with 2 dice and always have a critical added, that's good. Like, that's really good. That's like an advanced targeting computer for Vader. Boom, shooting out of my rear, critical, every time, plus the 2 attack dice. And if I recall, you can still run him next to Howl Runner and get a reroll. So he's a little bit pricey, but I think you might be able to fill him in. The initial joust isn't going to be as good or as strong with him, but when your TIE fighters end up flying by, you know, or maneuverability, he can provide some rear firing over Overwatch. So we'll see what options this guy has. I think he's going to be good. I think Quick Draw is good, but I think this guy's ability is better, in my opinion, though you are forced to fire out of the rear arc to make use of his ability. Alright, so it looks like the next 2 pilots are generics. The Omega Specialist has the same upgrade slots, comes in at 25 points. That's about all we can really say about him. And then Zeta Specialist for 23 points loses his Elite Pilot talent slot. Compared to like the Protectorate, which we just or had just discussed, at least he has some upgrades for the pilot's low pilot skill 3. The Protectorate's pilot skill 1 only has a torpedo slot. At least this guy has a missile system upgrade and a tech upgrade. So this guy could have applications. I don't know if he will. It seems like it might be tough to work with, but we'll see. I don't fly Imperials as much as my other squadrons, so this may be some good reasons for me to tinker with list builds and see what I can come up with that works out pretty well. Now, finally, let's move on to the upgrade cards. Let's see if there's anything we're familiar with. Well, we're immediately familiar with Wired. I'll read it, but we're going to not focus on it too much. When attacking or defending, if you are stressed, you may re-roll 1 or more of your focus results. That's cool, sort of, for some applications. I guess if this guy's stressed, it would be relatively good, but, you know, probably not super duper amazing for these TIE fighters. Moving on, we have collision detector. This is a system upgrade. When performing a boost barrel roll or decloak, your ship and maneuver template can overlap obstacles. Obstacles when rolling for obstacle damage, ignore all critical results. This is really good. It's 0 points. If you are playing competitively and you are using this on some of your ships, this is pretty much going to encourage you to run debris instead of asteroids, because debris will only hurt you on a critical result, and this ignores criticals. So in essence, your ships with this upgrade ignore debris damage. It wouldn't ignore the stress, but they would ignore the damage. So I guess they would still take a stress token, but it still helps you a little bit in terms of giving you maneuverable options. I guess I'm not sure how much this is going to help the TIE fighters, which, considering quick draw, is, like I said earlier, he's been ruled where he can run into asteroids or debris and hurt himself on purpose to shoot. If that's your tactic, you probably would not use the collision detector on him, because you want to get hurt. That seems weird. This might be really good on ships like Whisper, especially if you're trying to shave some points. You could put this on a TIE Phantom, and now it gives them more decloak options, even though you know, they could still hurt themselves. Being able to barrel roll and not having to worry about the asteroid or debris is pretty decent, especially if you're using debris tokens. You decloak, barrel roll through debris, take a stress token because of it, and then your actual executed maneuver is a green, you clear stress token. So the collision detector, I think, is going to get the most use on the TIE Phantom, and if you're focusing on the TIE Phantom, you're probably going to run debris, and as long as you plan ahead for potential barrel rolls with a green maneuver, you're pretty much fine, because it won't hurt you and you will not take a stress because you'll be clearing it. So pretty good. They only gave us one of them. That is what it is. They did give us 2 sensor clusters, which is cool. This one's a tech upgrade, which is nice because there are not many tech upgrades in the game. So it's nice to have another one added. When defending, you may spend a focus token to change one of your blank results to a evade result. That's pretty good. Not bad for the TIE. To be honest with you, I mean, that makes him pricey, but this on Poe Dameron is pretty dumb. Poe Dameron is banking on a focus, so if he really needs to, if he rolls one focus result, he gets to change one for free, and then he can spend that focus after changing the one for free, and then change one of his blanks to a evade. So this would, I think, it's going to get the most use on Poe if you can shave the points. It's going to make him even worse to try and take out, because he's got more options for what to do with juggling that focus. I like it. I dig it. I'm not sure how much it's going to help on the TIE Defender or TIE Special Forces TIEs, but it could be really good. This might also be really good again on Whisper if you don't run collision detector. With the advanced cloaking, when Whisper shoots, if she or when she attacks, she gets to cloak for free. With her ability, if Whisper hits, she gets free focus. Then, you know, hypothetically, she's shooting first. That's the best case scenario. Then when she takes return fire, she has the focus to spend for defense if she needs it, or if she rolls really bad, she can use this. So pretty good options. There's going to be some shenanigans with this, and that one system upgrade that lets you change one of the hits to a focus. Well, it's eluding me. It's the one that comes with the Lambda shuttle, I believe. Sensor cluster in that on a TIE Phantom would be pretty good, I think. Ooh, you know what? I think I might have just been talking out of my butt. Disregard the last 2 minutes. I don't even think Whisper, I don't think a TIE Phantom can take system clusters. Or sensor clusters. I believe that's just T-70s and FO style TIEs and now the Special Forces. For the most part. We'll see. I think I was wrong. Disregard that, guys. Sorry. I got so excited about what it could do in a combo and I ruined it. Sorry about that. Finally, we have the title Special Forces or Special Ops Training TIE SF only. When attacking with a primary weapon from your primary firing arc, so this is shooting forward, you may roll 1 additional attack die. Let's take this in parts. So that basically, I don't know why you wouldn't take this, by the way. That makes it to where shooting forward, your Special Forces TIE fighters have X-Wing stats. Their forward firing arc has 3 attack dice now. Pretty freaking good. Now, the second half of this says, if you do not give it the +1 attack on the front, you may perform an additional attack from your auxiliary firing arc. This is bananas too. Quick draw is gonna be, quick draw. Let's ignore that one because I honestly don't care. This one's gonna be the good one, I think. Backdraft with special ops training. Again, let's just reiterate here. When attacking a ship inside your auxiliary firing arc, you may add 1 critical result. When attacking with a primary weapon from your primary firing arc, you may roll 1 additional attack dice. So on the initial joust, when he's flying forward, he's got 3 dice. If you do not add that additional attack die, you may perform an additional attack from your auxiliary firing arc. So after the initial joust, where he's rolling 3 dice, he flies by, and when he shoots out of his rear, he gets to add a critical result in addition to the 2 attack dice he's rolling, and he gets to shoot twice. This feels a lot like what Imperial's somewhat of an answer to, I won't say answer, but comparable ship to a Y-Wing with twin laser turret. It's not as good, but it's still pretty good if you can keep things in his rear firing arc. So you heard it here first, guesstimating that if the Special Forces tie is going to be awesome, Backdraft is going to be the one that is sweet and good, in my opinion. So, with that being said, guys, was there something I missed? Is there some immediate tactic or build you want to talk about that this made you think of? Let's drop a comment below and get a discussion going. I love talking about miniatures, love talking about miniatures games, I love painting them, so I enjoy conversing with you guys. If you like this, please give us a subscribe and help support the channel and like the video. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and happy wargaming.